We are live. We are live, and I'm just gonna give a few more minutes before people come on. Let me just double check to make sure that we are live on every platform. Are we live on LinkedIn? Let me go see. I believe we are. Yes, yes, we are live on LinkedIn. That's great. All right, and let's double check to see if we are live on. Perfect, perfect. Thank you, thank you. Let's see here. Are we live everywhere? So we are live on LinkedIn, and we are live on Facebook, and we are live on YouTube. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here tonight. If you know me, anyone that knows me knows I am very particular about my time. Being on time for me is one of my pet peeves. I mean, being late is one of my pet peeves. Something that I don't like. I don't like being late for no reason at all. And this is my way of operating. Not everybody needs to be the same way, but I am this way, and I'm probably going to die this way because I believe being on time is one of a great for me it's one of the greatest quality that God can gift me with, is my punctuality, and I love being on time. Anybody that knows me knows that I love being on time. So I appreciate you all for being here, for listening. I'm just gonna put this on edit privacy. It's gonna be on public. There we go. Change. Perfect. So we are public here. Let's see if we have any comments already. No, since source. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight again. As you know, I'm always here every Sunday night at 7 p.m. This is the Emotional Health Talk Show. And tonight we've got a great show because we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, we will. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Will Baptiste, and I am the emotional health coach for men. I help single dads and busy husbands to get unstuck from emotional suppression, aka emotional constipation. And tonight, if you are watching right now, and if you're watching live or for watching a replay, you're probably wondering why I'm here by myself today because on the last three shows, I had a friend of mine, that we were hosting the shows together, and tonight I'm by myself. So let me go ahead and address that because I think one of the things that I love doing is being transparent, right? Being transparent, being honest and open, and I think it is important. And I think it's a rare thing to do or to have this day and age. Everybody wants to show up as something else other than who they are. And this is not me. This is not my cup of tea. And I'm gonna show up as I am. And you can either love me or don't love me, but you will respect me. That's for sure. I don't mind not being loved, but I will get my respect because this is what I give. I give respect, and I'll hopefully, expect that back. Again, we are here tonight, and I will be talking about life stories and life lessons, setbacks, or setups for a comeback. All right, so here we are. Last Sunday, I had a show with my co-host, and we did talk about some things, and something did come out, and I'm not gonna apologize for it because that's what I believe in. All right. Now I could have said it differently. I could have said it in a way that is more that could have been understood better. but I do believe what I said, and I stand by what I said. So, and sometimes in life, we will start something, and along the way, we'll have to go it alone. We have to do things on our own, and there's nothing wrong with that. And just to let you guys know that Miss Cleo and I, we are speaking. We are on speaking terms. We are speaking it almost every day and checking up on each other. So just because this didn't work out doesn't mean that we don't have anything to offer to one another. That is not at all. So I just want to let you guys know that from this point forward, I will be hosting the show by myself. However, periodically I will have guests to come on my show and to speak along the topics that I feel fit for them to speak on. But until then, I will be doing the show by myself every Sunday night at 7 p.m. So I just wanted you guys know that this is where I'm going to be. And if for whatever reason I'm not able to make it, you guys be aware of that. But until then, this is where I'm going to be. So if you guys want to send any questions or any comments or anything in the chat, please feel free to do so. And if you want me to talk about certain things, I will be more than happy to do so as well. All right. This show is not about me. It's about us. It's about bringing the awkward conversation. It's about bringing the uncomfortable conversation. It's about men's being emotional. It's about men opening up about their emotions, about their feelings, and what they go through on a day-to-day basis. And that's what I'm about to normalize. My goal is to normalize men needing emotional support. My goal is to normalize that, to break this taboo, this un this kind of conversation that must be had, and that we are just putting to the side, don't want to talk about it because it's uncomfortable. Well, guess what? Get comfortable being uncomfortable, because I will be talking about things that people don't want to talk about, especially when it comes to men. And it's going to be everything related to men, fathers, single dads, relationships, so on and so forth. And I just want to let you guys know I am not a therapist. I am not a couples coach either, although I do help couples as well. But my main focus is really on men and helping men to get unstuck, because I believe when our men do get unstuck, because yesterday, well, not yesterday, but this past week, I had the privilege to do to be a speaker, and I was talking about how it affects men when it comes to the emotions. It affects men when they are emotionally stuck and not being able to express their emotions. Now, let's talk about the topic here: life stories and life lesson. In my life, as some of you may know, I'm an open book, and my book is out on Amazon right now. If you go ahead and check it out, it's called The Will to Rise: How to persevere in the face of adversity. Is now available on Amazon if you want to go check it out. And my life, pretty much my life stories and my life lesson, are in that book. And if you read it, you will understand the thing that I've been through and why I had so many setbacks in my life. And now I'm looking at them as a setup for a comeback, because I did use my setbacks as a setup. Because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be here today. If I didn't, I wouldn't be speaking with you right now. If I didn't, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. That's because I use my setbacks as a setups. I use my mistakes as use it as a missteps to guide me to becoming a better man, to guide me and become a better version of myself. So tonight we're gonna talk about those life stories. What are my life stories? I mean, as you guys already know, it's in the book. Being born in Haiti, I grew up in Naples, Florida. When I went to school, I went to high school, and then I went to college. And it's been 18 years. It's been 18 years that I've been in Canada, and it's probably it was probably one of the biggest decision that I have ever taken in my life at that time. And looking back, I wouldn't do it any other way. I wouldn't do it any other way because of the fact that I am where I'm at today because of those decisions. I am a sum total of all the decisions that I make, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. And I don't look back on my decision just say I regret. I don't regret any of the decision. What I do regret is the decision that I've made that caused harm to other people. That is very unfortunate. That I made mistakes, right? I make decisions that cause a great hurt and pain, either to my family, to the people close to me. But as for me, I don't regret anything that I've done because had I not done what I did, then I wouldn't be the person that I am today. Now, would I do it differently? It's irrelevant because what's done is already done. But what I can do is to move forward. What I can do is to use those setbacks as a setups for a comeback. What I can do is to learn from those and say, how can I do better next time? How can I use what I've had? How can I use the life lessons, the life stories? How can I use them to better to help somebody else? And that's what I'm all about, and that's what I've always been at, and that's the reason why I decided to be a coach. I decided to be a coach because I want to transfer what I've learned over the years, the fair marriages, the fair business, all the abuse, all of those things that I've gone through is shaping me and molding me into the man that I am today. And that's why I am so passionate about what I do and how I serve men because let's face it, we live in a world today where people are quick to cancel people. People are quick to judge people. People are quick to shame other people. We live in this kind of world. But tonight, my goal is to break this taboo, is to break um, this 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 generational curse and generational trauma to invite men, right? To invite men to take a good look at themselves, to take a good look inside of them and just say, okay, where did it go wrong? How can I take responsibility now and accountability for who I am, for what I've done? Now, speaking of that, on Facebook this week, I pose a question. I say, what's the difference between a boy, a young man, and a man? Hardly anyone answered that. I guess either because they didn't know, or they knew that they choose not to, or they're not sure. Well, I can tell you, from my opinion and from being a man, and I can tell you the difference between the three. And I will do a video about that because not everybody is watching this live. But I will do a video about that. So let's talk about the difference between a boy, a young man, and a man. Now, a boy is someone with no responsibility. Let me say that again. A boy is someone with no responsibility at all. So they get up, they eat, they do what they do. They cry when they're hungry. They ask for things. They don't do anything for themselves, right? They have no responsibility, nothing at all. That's a boy. And let me tell you something. A lot of men are dressed up as a man, but they're still a boy. And I'm not shaming men, and I'm not talk down to men, but yeah, if you don't take responsibility, you are a boy. Yes, that's what I said. Right? So being a boy is someone with no responsibility. It's not someone that don't take responsibility for, they don't have any responsibility. That's what it is. A boy is someone with no responsibility whatsoever. That's what a boy is. And a boy needs to be a boy because that's the development stage they are in, learning about themselves and learning about, you know, just life itself. So they have no responsibility. They carefree. That's what a boy does. He's carefree. It's all about video games or whatnot, and playing sports and whatnot. That's what a boy is. Now, what is a young man? So now we just identify what a boy is. A boy is someone with no responsibility, not someone that does not take responsibility. He has no responsibility whatsoever. All right. If you guys in the chat, let me know what you think about this. So now let's move on to young man. What is a young man? Young man is someone who's learning about responsibility, right? So we went from a boy that have no responsibilities at all. Now we're going to a young man that is now learning how to be responsible, right? Understanding that every action there's a reaction. Understand cause and effect. Understand that he does not sin or do something in a vacuum. Everything that he does that will have a ripple effect. He's learning now about responsibility. He's learning how to navigate through this life. He's learning how to come to his own. He's learning about responsibility. Now, here's the danger part. Who is there to teach this man responsibility? How many men grew up in a household where there is no man in the house? Now, it doesn't mean that the mother cannot teach this young man responsibility, but she can only do it from her point of view as a woman, as a mother, right? Doesn't mean she's not going to do a good job, but her job is going to be limited to who she is as a mother. But at least she's teaching him some type of responsibility. Now, that's a young man. This young man is learning. And if you have a young man that have no desire to learn about responsibility, then you got to look at yourself. Why is this young man do not want to learn about responsibility? Right? Because that's the age now he's got to learn how to navigate through life. That's the age he's got to understand that life has consequences, right? That's the age he's got to learn those things. But if he doesn't have anybody to teach him, or if he has the wrong people around him to teach him about responsibility, what kind of responsibility is he going to learn? That's his environment. All right. So we went from a boy with no responsibility at all to a young man who's learning about responsibility, right? And that's this is the time that this young man will need a mentor, will need a father figure, right? In my life, I didn't have any of those things, and I was trying to learn from a man that I trusted. And then you guys know the rest of the story. And if you want to know what happened or whatnot, it's in the book. The World to Rise. So as I was navigating to the world and eager to learn, eager to become a young man, eager to learn about life. And I look around, I didn't have anybody to teach me. Right? And then I became a man. And now I'm responsible now. Now I'm not in the learning stage anymore. I ought to be taking responsibility and being responsible. I don't always get it right. I fail from time to time, but I understand at my age, it's not about learning responsibility or how to be or learning how about being responsible. I ought to be responsible now. And that's the reason why a lot of times we see men acting a certain way. We say, why are you acting like a little boy? Because his action shows there's a lack of responsibility on his part. There's a lack of accountability in his part. Now, what do you do with a man that dressed up like a man, that talk like a man, but his action and his attitude says otherwise? What do you do? That's a great question. Now, this man, if he has any types of awareness, he's got to look at the mirror, and does he have people around him that will tell him the truth? Or does he surround himself, right? Does he surround himself with the yes sir, yes man? Are those the type of people that he's hanging around with? People that's just going to tell him what he wants to hear and not taking any type of responsibility and accountability for what he does. And I don't know where you are in your life. And I'll be the first one to say, sometimes the things that I do, I ask myself, what were you thinking? I ask myself, what were you thinking? Because there was the way that I acted was as someone that has no responsibility, that's not responsible at all. And then once the act has been committed, and I'm not taking responsibility, I'm blaming someone else. That's someone who's not taking responsibility. And I cannot for the life of me say you're a man. Now, you may dress up like a man, you may look like a man, but your action shows that you have lack of judgment. You're not taking responsibility. You're playing a victim. That's not what we want. And this is not to put men down. What I'm saying is we want a different type of race of men. We want men that are going to exude emotional intelligence. And I know that we've been hearing this word and people have been throwing this word around, but it is something important. Emotional intelligence. That is real. And we got to have that. And that's the reason why it's so important. As men, we have to check each other. We got to be able to call each other out on some things. We got to say, hey, listen, man, that ain't right, bro. Why are you acting this way? Why are you treating her this way? Why are you talking to her this way? Why ain't you taking responsibility for your kids? Why ain't you pitching in? Why ain't you paying your child support? Why don't you see your kids more often? Do you have this kind of people around you? Are you getting some help? Now, that's what a man does. A man take responsibility. And if you're a young man, you ought to learn, right, to take responsibility. And if you don't have some people around you, please reach out to me because I'd rather spend time with you, right, and showing you the path. You're still going to make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. But at least you'll be making the mistakes knowing what you ought to do, right? And that's what I was looking for when I was younger. I was looking for that mentor. I was looking for that male figure and the guidance, somebody to help me to learn how to navigate through life. Now I became a man, but I was still operating as a young man. And sometimes I operated like a little boy because I didn't have that nurture. I didn't have the blueprint. I didn't have what it takes to be the man that I was supposed to be in my marriage, in my business, and everything else that I was doing in this life. So now I hope you understand the difference between a boy, a young man, and a man. Again, a boy is someone with no responsibility whatsoever. And we don't expect this young boy either to have to take any responsibility or to be responsible because that's the age they are in. Now, as a young man, you ought to learn now how to be responsible. And if you're a man, then if you're not taking responsibility for the thing that you do and for the thing that goes around you in your household, then you got to ask yourself that question. Maybe it's time for you to seek out for some help. Maybe it's time for you to reach out to somebody, right? Maybe it's time for you to try to understand, okay, why am I acting in a certain way? Why am I acting this way? Look at yourself in the mirror. When was the last time you look at yourself in the mirror, man? When was the last time you asked yourself, is the direction I'm going, is this the right direction? Is this the direction that's gonna lead me to a better version of myself? Is this the direction I'm gonna that I'm gonna that's gonna lead me and to become that responsible man that I need to be? Is this the direction that's gonna lead me to become a better version of myself? Is this the direction that's gonna lead me that's going to fuel my dreams rather than fueling my fears? I don't know where you are in your life. To be quite honest with you, it doesn't really matter. All I want to see is just men stepping up to the plate and taking responsibility for what they ought to do. Right? I don't know if we have anyone in the comments or whatnot. I got my brothers looking, watching what's going on. Julie's watching. Thank you, Julie, for being here. I've got Ronald is watching as well. Thank you for being here. If you guys have any questions or whatnot, please feel free to put it in the comment. I would love to get any feedback from you guys, because I'm very passionate about men's men's emotions. I'm really passionate about how men are navigating to this world, right? Again, I've always said my goal is never to, to talk about men versus women, that's not the kind of show that I have here. But from time to time, yes, I will let my emotion I'll get the best of me. And I think that's why it's so important that we learn emotional mastery, not to let our emotion get the best of us, right? Because I think that is key. I think that is very important, because if we don't, then what's gonna happen is, just gonna pull up something here. Let me see if I can pull that up. Um, you guys bear with me for a minute here. I'm gonna put up my notes and take it from there. So yeah, guys, feel free to comment. Feel free to engage, because I love to be engaged with you guys. Um, but I want to share with you guys a story, right? I want to share with you guys a story. I think you guys will appreciate the story. Let me see here. Let me put it there. Yeah, because I think you guys would appreciate the story, right? So now we've talked about, my stories and what I've learned and what's going on. Like, if you see me doing the show by myself from this point forward, as I mentioned before, I will be doing the show by myself. But from time to time, I will have guests come on, and I've got for the people that speak French, I will have people that comes on the show that's going to be speaking French. So we are going to mix it up. We are going to have guests from Montreal, and as you guys know, I live in Montreal, so we will have guests from Montreal that speak French. But again, we're going to be talking about everything, whether it's a man or woman that's going to come. We're going to talk about primarily, right? We're going to talk about men's emotions, because I think there is a great need, right? I think there's a great need, um, for men to show up, you know, with being free emotionally and not being constipated, right? And my whole premise of my coaching is to help men get unstuck. Now, I have a group coaching that's gonna come in. That's gonna start very soon. So if you guys are interested in my group coaching, let me know. DM me the word emotions. Let me know that you're interested either in a group coaching or in a one-on-one. Very affordable. I'm not cheap, but I'm affordable, because I want to see every man to show up on the best version of themselves, and I'm here. So I want you guys to know that I'm doing this because I'm very passionate. I'm doing this because it's my calling, it's my purpose. Because the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I wish I had this kind of resources and this kind of platform, or somebody out there that could help me understand my own emotions, the thing that I was going through, understanding who I am, and to be able to get the resources that I need, and to be able to get to a place of healing, to get to a place of stability, right? To get to a place where I'm not bleeding on people that didn't cut me, to get to a place where now the man the men appear because the boy has been healed, right? And the reason why I'm being so vulnerable, be open, because we cannot heal what we do not reveal. That is very important. So that's the reason why I am breaking this generational curse again, generational trauma, to let men know that it is okay. There's nothing, it doesn't take away my strength. It doesn't take away my masculinity. It doesn't take away anything from who I am. I'm still the same person. I'm just coming into a place where I understand who I am and understand how I'm operating, right? I understand that I cannot continue to operate from my worst day cycle. I cannot continue to operate from a place of trauma, from a place of pain. Do I get triggered every once in a while? Of course. We all do. Do I react sometimes instead of respond? Yeah, of course I do. Just because I'm doing what I'm doing doesn't mean I don't deal with my own BS. Doesn't mean I don't deal with my own stuff. I do. I'm still a human being. I'm just at a place now where I understand when those things happen. I understand when I'm being triggered. I understand how to master my emotions, right? I'm at a place right now where I'm learning how to do this, and I continue to learn. So basically, I'm going in this direction. I'm on my journey, and I've seen a couple of steps, and I see you behind me. All I'm doing is say, "Hey, bro, I've been there. Let me give you a helping hand. Let me show you how to avoid those pitfalls." But I cannot be with you 24/7. I can show you, but you still gotta make a decision. You still gotta take a step and doing what you have to do. I've got a question from Julie here. Okay, what do we say to the young to the young? So I'm assuming to the young man who does not want to talk because of society, because society make it very difficult, and they're being very judgmental. Well, guess what? We can't change people from being human. We cannot change society overnight, right? So what do I say to those young men? Reach out to somebody that you trust. Just make sure you don't trust everybody, because in my naivety, I trust people that ended up taking advantage of me. I don't want you to go around and just trust everybody, but I don't want you to go around being cynical either, right? Understanding trust takes courage. Trust is like it's taking a risk. I'm taking a risk to trust this person and understand that this person may ended up, you know, doing something that ended up hurting me. But you got to find a way to find the courage to trust. So what do I say to this young man that are listening and that don't want to talk because it's difficult, because society? Find somebody like me. Find a coach. Find somebody that you trust, man. But you cannot keep all this thing in the inside of you. Trust me. Trust and believe. One way or another, sooner or later, all these emotions gonna come out. Trust me. Why do you think the prison population is full of men, a young man? What do you think is that? Because they are expressing their emotions, but not in a way that is constructive. It's in a way that is destructive. Why do you think a lot of domestic violence are done mostly against women? Because those men are expressing their emotions, but not in a way that is constructive. Why do you think the suicide rate among men has skyrocketed in the last 10 years? Because men are expressing their emotions, but not in a way that is constructive. So, what do I mean by men being emotionally stuck? They're emotionally stuck because they are not using the right channel to express their emotions. So they are stuck. Then what happened is something will happen, they get triggered, and then boom, they'll lash out because they've been stuck for too long. They've been holding inside of them for way too long. So hopefully that answers your question. So if you're a young man, right? If you're a young man that you're listening right now, you're like, man, yeah, it sounds all well and good, Will, but guess what? It's still difficult. I didn't say it was gonna be easy. I never said it was gonna be easy, but I said you got a decision to make, right? You have a decision to make. And that decision is going to look like this. I call it the AAA effect. And this is what exactly what I teach young men and also adult men. It's called awareness. At some point, you have to be aware that you are stuck and you got to reach out. So the first thing is awareness. You got to be aware. You got to be aware that you are stuck, that you need help. Now, there's a little story I have for you. I'm in Montreal, so if you live in a place where there's snow, because it's winter, so I think it's very apropos that I talk about snow, snowbank, and so on and so forth, right? Now, imagine driving in the winter, right? In the winter season, and suddenly your car hit the black ice and swerve and hit the snowbank. Now that can happen to anyone, whether you've been driving for 20 years or you just started driving 2 months ago. It really doesn't matter because bad luck happens to both experienced and inexperienced person. So now you are stuck in the snowbank. Now you have three options. You got option number one. You can go back and forth between reverse and drive to get yourself unstuck. And if you get lucky, you might be able to get yourself unstuck. But in my experience, it's never that easy. Option number two, there might be a good Samaritan driving by and stopping and getting out of the car in the snow and getting behind you to push you while you're going in forward motions in an attempt to get yourself unstuck. And now you find yourself deeper into the snowbank because it's been 20 minutes and your tires have been spinning. Option number three, you can call a tow truck driver to come to your rescue because that's his job. And that's what he does daily, and he's well equipped. Now, keep in mind that he may arrive in 20 minutes or in 2 hours. And there's going to be a cost that comes with the service. But at this point, you are more hopeful and grateful knowing that help is on the way and have confidence that he'll get you unstuck. Now, the price tag becomes irrelevant because you are thinking about the results you're going to get and get you back on the road on your way to your destination. Now, what's the point of my story? As they say, there's no point without a story, and there's no story without a point. Now, here's my point. Life has many seasons, and you might be in the winter season of your life, cruising, and suddenly life hits you and you find yourself stuck in a relationship, stuck in a job, and the environment you grew up, or even worse, stuck emotionally. I say worse because you can leave an unhealthy relationship, which I have done. You can quit your job, which I've done many times when I was younger. You can move out of your environment. I've done this from Haiti to Florida and now in Canada, Montreal. Listen, you can leave your job, right? You can leave your unhealthy relationships. You can quit your job. You can even, but one thing that you cannot do, you cannot disconnect yourself from your emotions. You cannot just wake up one day and say, emotions, it was a great experience. Thank you for the life lessons. You can't do that because your emotions and your intellect are connected to your soul. Then to disconnect from your emotions is to kill your soul slowly. And as a man, you've been oppressed, suppressed, and repressed your emotions to the point that you are emotionally constipated, and unfortunately, you have not found a safe space to release. And now you find yourself in your mid 30s, late 40s. You've been trying on your own for many years to get unstuck. But like your car in the snowbank, you keep spinning your wheels. You have friends and family member which mean well, but they can't help you. Why? Because they stuck themselves. Finally, you decide to reach out to me because you see me on social media. you stumble on my website, someone refer you to me, or you bought my book, which is in Amazon, The Will to Rise, How to Persevere in the Face of Adversity. Allow me to just grab a copy of my book. Oh, let me see if it's here. I'm going to show you what the book looks like. I don't want you guys get confused because I have noticed there are a lot of other books that's called The Will to Rise, but this is what my book looks like. Okay, this is me on the cover. The Will to Rise: How to Persevere in the Face of Adversity. Go ahead and grab your copy right now. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. So, so you decided to reach out to me because either you bought my book or someone referred you, and you decided today is the day that you are tired of being stuck. In other words, you are tired of being tired. All right. Let me see if we have any comments or anything on the on Facebook. Um, nope, we don't have anything on Facebook. Okay, perfect. So thank you guys for watching. So now, and as I mentioned before, I have a method called the AAA effect. And no, I'm not talking about your roadside assistant coverage plan. I'm talking about the first A, which is awareness. Now, awareness is you are aware that you are stuck, and that's why you reach out to me. So the first action, or the first thing that you're gonna come up with, you're gonna have to face is the fact that you are stuck. That's awareness, and you have to reach out to somebody to help you. Because I believe your awareness will breed authenticity, which will help you show up as a better husband, a better father, a better partner, a better brother, leader, or even a friend. But what about showing up for yourself? Right? Because awareness is as Socrates says, awareness, knowing thyself, right, is the beginning of wisdom. And I think for us, and as I did, been married twice, I showed up in those relationships, in those marriages, not knowing who I was. So this is why it's so important, awareness, because if you're going to be in a relationship with someone and you don't know who you are, who are you going to tell them? How are you going to present yourself if you don't know who you are? Right? So I think it's so important that we present ourselves. First, we got to know who we are to be able to present ourselves in a way that is going to be, and a way that's going to show who we are, our authenticity, and who we are as a man. So that's the first E. The first E is awareness. The second A is acceptance. Now you have accepted responsibility that you and only you have the power to decide whether or not you are going to stay stuck. Yep. Nobody's gonna come save you. Nobody's gonna, tell you everything's gonna be okay. You have to find that within yourself. You do. And one thing I want to make sure that we do, is that let's not confuse acceptance with tolerance, because I can accept my past, but I shouldn't tolerate someone disrespecting me because of my past. I can accept that I was a victim of as a child. I was victim of child abuse, but I don't have to live like a victim, right? Even though I was a victim of a child abuse, but I don't have to live like a victim. How many of us living our life as a victim? Woe me, they did this to me, they did that to me. Yes, I know. And I have empathy for you. And I feel you. I totally understand. Maybe sometime I need to have a little bit more empathy. Maybe I do. But we cannot continue to live our lives as a victim. We're not going to be able to grow. We're not going to be able to move forward. We're not going to be able to become the person that we're ought to be, or we're supposed to be, if we're going to continue to live like a victim. We can't do that. And I know it's hard to hear, and I don't want to be insensitive to some people because some people are really dealing with some hard stuff. Life can be hard, but this is the emotional health talk, right? This is emotional intelligence. Life is hard. Wear a helmet. I know it's not easy, but guess what? The sun is gonna shine tomorrow. Things are gonna keep moving, and we cannot stay stuck in our past. We cannot stay stuck on in what could have been. We have to be able to move forward, and the reason why we have to accept those things is because without acceptance, we cannot move forward. Acceptance is just like forgiveness. We can't move forward until we learn how to forgive. But now understand that your forgiveness will come at the time that it needs to come, just like your healing. But you have to accept the fact that there are things that you cannot change in your past. And you have to accept the fact that you cannot change people. You cannot change people from being human. That's who they are. Now the last A. Now I'll talk about the two A's, right? The triple A. I talk about A, which is awareness. The second A, which is acceptance. Now we're gonna come talk about the last A, which is action. Now, so you went from awareness, which is your mindset, right? Awareness, your mindset. Now to acceptance, which is your heart set, because your heart got to your heart is what's going to allow you to accept things that you cannot change. And then we come to the last A, which is action. Action is to reset. So we went from mindset, heart set, and reset. Action is doing for yourself what you hope someone else will do for you. Because every day you are making decisions and taking actions. Now, the question that I have for you is your daily action fueling your dreams or is it fueling your fears? Those are some hard questions you got to ask yourself, man. Those are some hard questions that you have to ask yourself. Hey, are my actions, are my decisions that I'm making daily, and we all making them daily. And let me say this: not making a decision is a decision. So a lot of us thinking that well, I'm not making a decision. Well, you are making a decision not to make a decision. So regardless, every day you wake up, you have decision to make. First of all, just the fact that you wake up, you decide to wake up, right? Besides God that gives you the opportunity, right? Because the Bible says today is the day that the Lord has made, right? The Lord has made the day. But what you do with your day is up to you. God has given you another day, another opportunity. Now you can decide to stay in bed. Now you're awake. Now what you do, it's up to you. And so the fact that you decide to get up, right? It's an act. So now actions, compound actions is what's going to lead you to your destination. Is what's going to lead you to your purpose. Now action is do for yourself what you wish somebody else would do for you. Now, when we are emotionally stuck, now here's the dangerous part. When we are emotionally stuck, we can become emotionally unavailable and even emotionally abusive towards our partners and our children. That's how deep and that's how dangerous that being emotionally stuck can be. It's very dangerous. When we are emotionally stuck, we may feel trapped, unable to grow or find fulfillment or contentment. This is real, y'all. Being emotionally stuck, it ain't no joke, man. It's not being stuck in the ditch. This is real, man. At least you're in the ditch that somebody can help you get unstuck. But if you're stuck in your mind and in your heart and you don't even know it, that's where it becomes dangerous. Now, here's a question to ask ourselves. Why is it important to be emotionally unstuck? Why is it important? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Because being emotionally unstuck is important because it allows you to move forward in life, make healthier decisions, move forward in life, make healthier decisions, and maintain a positive relationship. Who does not want to maintain a positive relationships? Who does not want to have a healthier, make a healthier decisions? Who does not want to move forward to life? I don't know anyone. If it's you, I don't know how you do it, but that's not me. Now, and of course, as you guys know, I'm always going to come from a place of vulnerability. I'm always going to come from a place of my own story. Now, here's my AAA moments. Okay. Nearly 5 years ago, after I became aware of myself and no longer wanted to suppress my emotions, my second wife walked out of our marriage because my eyes were open and I was able to see the emotional and the verbal abuse that was going on, the lies and the manipulations. Today, when I pray for her. I forgive her and I forgive myself for not knowing what I didn't know. Did you hear that? I forgive myself for not knowing what I didn't know. I started my healing journey after my second wife left, and it was hard. I felt rejected, abandoned, and betrayed. And now all of my childhood trauma resurfacing again. Being abandoned by my mother when I at the age of 6 years old. Never remember meeting my father. I was abused from the age of 9 to 15 by my caregiver and molested from 16 to 17 by the man that I looked up to and wanted to learn from. Those are life lessons and life stories, y'all. Those are all my setbacks. Now you're gonna see my setup because those setbacks are setting me up to where I'm at today. So now I started reliving my worst day cycle. What's my worst day cycle? It's the negative emotions that I have. That's something negative emotional event that happened, and I relive that. It's called the worst day cycle, and that's not even the worst part, y'all. The worst part is between you know everything that happened to me in my past and having my second wife walked out. Now there is this little innocent, beautiful black 3-year-old boy, my son, my flesh and my blood, caught up in that mess. And that's when my mental health took a deep dive from suicidal ideation to suicide planning, an attempt to stop the pain. All I want is just who does not want to eliminate their pain? But can I tell you, your pain is one of the signs that you're alive. Woo! Let me say that again. Can I tell you the pain that you're feeling, even though it's irritating, even though it's not fun, but it is a sign that you're alive. You know why? Back in the days of Jesus' day, when people, would have leprosy, the reason why they could lose a nose, the reason why they were losing a finger, that's because they couldn't feel any pain. So they'll get hurt. They couldn't feel any pain. So you should thank God for the pain that you feel now. It doesn't mean that you have to live your life full of pain all the time, but you do want to feel pain because that's what's going to let you know that you're alive. And another thing, for those of you that ever been in a hospital, you see the heart monitor. What happened when there's a flat line? That means you're dead. So life is full of up and downs, right? Ups and downs. Life is like a roller coaster. And trust me, when you're at the top of the roller coaster, thank God for it. When you're at the bottom, thank God for it also. Because every top of a mountain, okay, it's gonna be the bottom of another mountain. So thank God for your roller coaster life. Thank God for the pain that you're feeling. Now, what I had to accept that I could not change the past and I could not change people from being human. who are full with fallibilities, shortcomings, and full of flaws. Now, despite all the information in the therapy sessions, I still had to apply what I have learned so I could be a better version of myself. And that work isn't some days or sometimes, it's daily. Our actions speak louder than our words. So show me your actions, and I'll tell you whether or not the work is being done consistently. Because you can tell me all day that you're doing the work, but let me see your action. Because your action will speak louder than your words. Now, here's the beautiful thing, right? The hero journey. Now I am emotionally free. It's been over 18 years since the last time I saw inside of a jail cell. But I've never felt freer than I have feel now. And with great power come great responsibilities. And because being emotional and vulnerable is powerful and also is a sign of strength, which means I had to learn emotional mastery so my emotions wouldn't become my master. Let me say that again for those of you who didn't hear that or that kind of went over your head. I had to learn emotional mastery so that my emotions wouldn't become my master. Now, I got a couple of questions I want to ask you as we're coming to a close here. We got about another 5 minutes, right? Let me just double check to see if we have any questions in the comments. Anybody asking any questions? No questions. All right. We're gonna continue. Let me see. I'm gonna go over LinkedIn. See if you have any questions on LinkedIn. No questions. All right. So we're going to continue. Let's see here. All right. We've got a few folks here. Perfect. So I got a few questions for y'all. Who do you know suffers from emotional suppression? Who do you know suffers emotionally on a monthly, weekly, or daily basis? On a scale of 1 to 10, how emotionally stable are they? What if I could get them what if I could get them unstuck emotionally by 1% every week? That's 52% more stable in 1 year, 52% more present, more peaceful, more productive, more loving, more caring, so on and so forth. Do you think they are worth the investment? And do you think they owe that to themselves? And as you guys know, I serve single dads and busy husbands to get unstuck from emotional suppression, aka emotional constipation. So, guys, let's book a 30 minutes free call. Let's book a free 30-minute call to help you begin to experience emotional liberation. And again, as I mentioned before, check out my book on Amazon. It's available right now. Or DM me on either on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on IG, emotions, all cap. And I'm gonna send you a free gift. All right. So, this is my life story, my life lessons. And as you guys can see, that I had a lot of setbacks, but I used those steps. It's just like life was throwing at me a bunch of stones, right? Life was throwing stone at me. So instead of me getting mad or throwing it back at life, I used that stone as a bridge or as a ladder, whatever you want to call that, to get to where I'm at. And life is going to continue to throw those things at me. Life is going to continue to throw those stones. Life is going to continue to throw those curveballs at me. Well, guess what? You're not alone. Trust me. Life is lifing every day, man. Life is laughing every day. Well, guess what? We got to get up. We got to put one foot up under the other, and we got to do what we got to do. We can't stay stuck. If you're a man, if you're a family man, you can't stay stuck because if you're stuck, everybody's stuck because you're the leader, right? If the leader's stuck, everybody's stuck, right? That's it. If you're behind, If there's one lane, right, and you are the front of you are the very front, you at the very start, you're the first car, and you're stuck. You see all the ripple effect. So this is the thing about being stuck, y'all. Man, as leaders, we are leaders in our church. We are leaders in our community. We are leaders in our home. First of all, our ministry start at home. Okay, let me just put it that way. Our first ministry as a man starts in our home. So if you are stuck, and God forbid you don't even know that you're stuck, you see how detrimental, you see how dangerous that can be for your family. You see how dangerous that can be for your community. You see how dangerous that can be for society when men are stuck and don't even know it. It's sad, man. That's why you gotta get unstuck, y'all. Reach out to me. Send me a DM. Let's get on a call. Let's get on a 30 minutes call. I promise you. Here's a guarantee. I promise you. When you call me, you will already feel what it's like to be emotionally liberated. You're gonna feel what it's like to be emotionally unstuck. And that 30 minutes, trust me, and that's guaranteed. And there's not too many things that are guaranteed in life apart from two things: that you're gonna die, you're gonna pay taxes. You best believe you're gonna die, and you best believe you're gonna pay some form of taxes. But another thing that I can guarantee you, if you get on a call with me, I promise you, you will start experiencing emotional liberation. That's guaranteed. That's it. That's all. Just get on the call. Don't be afraid, because remember, every day we are taking actions. So you can take action, not to take action. That's up to you. But you can't say you didn't know. You can't say that it wasn't available to you. You have no excuses. No more excuses. That's why I am coming here every Sunday as much as I can, and other platforms in different times, because I want to be all up on your face, man. I want to be all up in your face, because we got to start being emotionally unstuck. And we don't have to show up for everybody else all the time. We got to show up for ourselves, because we cannot give from an empty cup. And I'm going to drill this message till the cows come home. Man, we need you. Today is International Men's Day. And I have a message for y'all. And I think I've already posted it, but just in case you didn't see it, um, I wanna personally let you know. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, I will find it, and I will let you know. All right, where is it? Yep, there it is. Dear men, you don't need to man up. Dear men, it's okay to ask for help. Dear men, it is okay to cry. Crying is natural. Dear men, you deserve rest. Dear men, you are not a burden. Dear men, admitting you are struggling does not make you weak. Dear men, sharing your problem reduces the burden. Dear men, you are not a burden. Dear men, suffering and silence does not make you more of a man. Dear men, talking to your doctor, talking to someone, talking to me is not complaining. So, guys, I don't know what else to do. I'm here. You have no excuses. So, if you're a woman, and every woman has a man in their lives, whether it's a father, whether it's a husband, the partner, their sons, their brother. Every man, every woman has a man in their lives. Please tell them to reach out to me. I'm begging you. Because it's in our best interest for men to take care of the emotions. It's in everyone's best interest. Trust me. It's in everyone's best interest for men to stop that emotional suppression. It is time. It is in our best interest. All right, guys. Once again, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching live, I appreciate you. And if you're watching a replay, please let me know what resonated with you. Please let me know what you think. Um, I welcome constructive criticism or any form of criticism because I believe it will only make me better. Maybe it's the lightning. I don't know because I kind of feel kind of dark. Well, pun intended. I am dark. What do you want me to say? Right? Maybe it's the lightning. Maybe it's the way that I speak. Maybe it's the background. I don't know. Whatever you think, or maybe I need to be more professional. I don't know. But whatever you guys want to say, please let me know in the comment. First of all, how I can improve, whether it's the lightning, whether it's the mic, whatever it is, please let me know. I'm very open. Second, what topic that you'd like for me to talk about. Remember, I'm here every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let me know what topic that you'd like to me for me to discuss. Um, and if you know someone that I can bring on the show, please let me know. Right? Please let me know if there's someone that I can bring on the show that you'd like to hear from. And remember that this will be also in French. So I will, from time to time, I will bring somebody who speaks French. So we will do the show in French. So if you know anybody, please let me know. I would love, love, love to bring him on the show and to talk about men's emotional suppression, aka emotional constipation. So again, I've got a group coaching that's going to start in January. So please feel free because I'm only taking about I say somewhere around 7 to 10 men. I'm not going to be taking a lot of people because I want to make sure that this group is very tight and we are giving value. So there's going to be group coaching. Let me know. Send me a DM. And if you don't feel like being in a one-on-one coaching with me, or maybe it's just out of your budget, but a group coaching definitely will be something that you want to get into. Don't listen. And if I have enough people to start the group coaching, I'll start it before the year. We don't have to wait till next year. But let 2024 be a paradigm shift for you. Let 2024 be different than 2023. Start doing something different this year. Start investing in yourself. Start valuing yourself, right? Because you're all worth it. And a lot of time we say, "Well, Will, I don't have the money. I don't have the this and that and the third." Yeah, I've heard it all, and I've used other excuses before myself because I wasn't ready to invest in myself. But listen, 2024, it's gonna be a different beast, man. It's gonna be a different type of day. It's gonna be a different type of year for me. So, and I want that for you too as well, right? So invest in yourself because no one is going to invest in you more than you're gonna invest in yourself. Just like if I have a business, I'm gonna go to the bank and ask the bank to invest in my business. The first thing that the bank is gonna ask me, how much have you invested in your business? And if I say zero, they looked at me and they said, well, you're crazy. Because if you're not willing to spend your own money into your business, what makes you think that I'm going to invest in you? It's the same thing. So if you're not willing to invest in yourself, what makes you think that somebody else is going to invest in you? If you're not willing to see your worth, if you're not willing to see your value, how can you expect somebody else to see your worth, to see your value? It does not work that way, unfortunately. And that's the hardest truth. That's what it is, guys. It is what it is. I ain't making this thing up. I ain't making that up. No, it is what it is. All right, guys. It's already 8 minutes past the time. Man, I could go on and on and on, but I think 1 hour is enough. If you guys are listening to my voice and talking and talking and talking, and I will be back again next Sunday night, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the show's only gonna get improved. And So yeah. So right now it's about taking action. It's not about perfection. It's about taking daily action that's going to take us to where we need to go. Daily actions, right? And remember to always celebrate yourself. And I want to end on this. Everyone has a will and the ability to rise. Therefore, let us all rise together. This is Will, your favorite brother from another mother, aka the Haitian sensation. You already know. I'm out.